In the quaint Boston suburb stood an old two-story house, its elegant exterior whispering tales of a bygone era. Yet, as one stepped inside, the remnants of time lingered, revealing stories etched in every corner. In the dim light of the entrance hall, the floorboards whispered secrets with each creak, while the gentle remnants of soot danced around the fireplace, telling tales of warmth and comfort. The stair railings, marked by the touch of countless hands, held the stories of those who had come before. To Mary Wilson, these details were not mere observations. They were treasures woven into the very fabric of her home. Once upon a morning, the sun began to rise, and it was time for Emma to greet the day with a delightful breakfast. From the heart of the kitchen, Mary's voice rang out, a melody of warmth, as she poured golden orange juice into a waiting glass. Once upon a time there was a tall figure named Mary, whose presence was adorned with an artistic flair that captivated all who beheld her. With her long brown hair gently gathered and flowing, she possessed a gaze that sparkled with both wisdom and kindness. "Oh, Mommy, look at the clouds!" 6-year-old Emma exclaimed from her perch by the window, her eyes wide with wonder as she pointed to the sky where the clouds danced and twisted into whimsical shapes. Once upon a time, there was a young girl blessed with a vivid imagination, capable of transforming the tiniest details of her world into grand adventures. Indeed they are. Alas, the sands of time slip through our fingers, and today is not the day for such endeavors. Ah, your father finds himself caught up in the whirlwind of his own endeavors as well. With a gentle clink of ceramic, Richard descended the stairs, cradling his coffee cup as if it were a precious treasure. Once upon a time there was a man who devoted great attention to his appearance, ensuring that every detail was just right. With a stature that commanded attention and a visage that could only be described as handsome, he possessed a smile that sparkled with charm, particularly when directed towards those entwined in the tapestry of his professional life. This weekend a significant gathering of minds awaits me, a meeting that holds the promise of opportunity and the potential for great endeavors. If it succeeds, it will be quite the moment, Richard remarked, gently stroking Emma's head as he spoke. My dear little princess, when your daddy returns from his journey, he will bring you a most splendid gift. In a world where words hold great power, a promise was made, echoing through the hearts of those who dared to believe. With a gaze filled with wonder, Emma lifted her eyes to meet her father's. With a playful glint in his eye, Richard cast a wink at his daughter. In the stillness of the room, Mary moved with a gentle grace as she arranged the table, a whisper of unease fluttering in her heart, echoing the weight of her husband's words. In recent days a shadow of mystery seemed to envelop Richard, as if he were guarding a secret close to his heart. In the quiet shadows of the past 3 months, a transformation had begun to weave its way through his demeanor, a gentle shift that whispered of the loss they both felt since her mother had departed this world. How fare the preparations on this fine day? Picture this. A world where you could earn $10,000 each month, all from the comfort of your own home, simply by sharing your passions on YouTube. And so it was that I embarked on a journey with redditstories. Without a visage, without a sound. If your curiosity beckons, do take a moment to explore the link nestled within the description for the upcoming showcase at the Oliver Museum. In a moment filled with curiosity, Richard turned to Mary and posed his question. There's still so much to do, Mary replied, her voice carrying the weight of untold stories and unfinished journeys. Once upon a time, there was a remarkable exhibition that celebrated the talents of female artists from the vibrant tapestry of the 20th century. Once upon a time there was a project that held a special place in my heart. In the realm of art and history, there existed a remarkable figure named Mary, whose extraordinary gift as a museum curator captured the admiration of many. From the tender days of her youth, her heart had always danced to the rhythm of art, a flame that never flickered. Yet, there were moments when the call of her craft beckoned her away from the warmth of family gatherings. At times, this stirred a sense of unease within Richard's heart. In a moment of casual conversation, Richard shared, "Oh, by the way, I received a call from Mother. She has shared the delightful news that she will be gracing us with her presence this weekend." With a heavy heart, Mary let out a silent sigh, the weight of her thoughts pressing down upon her. In a world where appearances often mask true intentions, there lived a woman named Helen Wilson, the mother-in-law of our tale's heroine. She was the epitome of upper-class grace, her demeanor polished and courteous, yet beneath that refined exterior lay a heart brimming with an unyielding attachment to her son. Though she wore a mask of propriety, her excessive interference was a constant shadow, revealing the complexities of familial bonds in a society that valued appearances above all. In Helen's eyes, Richard shone as the epitome of a perfect son, while Mary, alas, seemed to her a daughter-in-law unworthy of such a treasure. In that moment, Mary donned a mask of tranquility, concealing the storm within. It is likely that Emma will find joy in that, I imagine. In the depths of her heart, Emma wrestled with the tapestry of emotions woven into her bond with her grandmother. Helen's affection flowed like a gentle stream, but only when Emma danced gracefully in the light of propriety. As the sun rose higher in the sky and the last remnants of breakfast faded away, Richard bid farewell and stepped out into the world, leaving the house enveloped in a serene stillness. As Mary sifted through the cherished remnants of her mother's life, a tapestry of memories unfolded before her. Each item whispered stories of the past, and she pondered the weight of the inheritance that lay before her. A treasure trove of possibilities, though the path ahead remained shrouded in uncertainty. Once upon a time, in a cozy little office, Emma burst through the door, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Mommy, look at this!" she exclaimed, eager to share her discovery. In her delicate hands rested an ancient photograph, a relic of times long past. "Ah, behold this cherished image of my grandmother and me in our youthful days," as Mary tenderly lifted the photograph. "Do you find yourself longing for the warmth of Grandma's embrace?" With a gentle nod, Emma acknowledged the moment, her silence speaking volumes. In the warm glow of the evening, Grandma leaned in closer, her voice a gentle whisper, and revealed the truth to me. "Pray tell, what is it that you wish to convey?" With a glint of intrigue in her eyes, Emma leaned closer and whispered, "It's a secret." Mary pondered, her mind wandering to the whimsical realms of childhood, where the boundaries of reality often blurred, and fanciful tales danced in the air like fireflies on a warm summer night. Surely, this was but a creation of a child's vivid imagination. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the world, Mary found herself answering a phone call from Richard. "In the quiet hours of the dawn, I have resolved to embark on my journey, setting forth early tomorrow morning." Once upon a time, in the bustling world of commerce, there was a crucial gathering on the horizon, a business meeting of great significance. The time had come to gather thoughts, strategies, and insights, for this meeting would shape the future of endeavors yet to unfold. "I see," Mary replied, her voice carrying a hint of understanding. A peculiar unease began to weave its way through her thoughts. As the evening unfolded and the table was set, a hush fell over Emma, her voice barely a whisper amidst the clinking of cutlery and the soft murmur of conversation. As she gazed out the window, a shadow of worry crossed her young face, a rare sight for one so innocent. "What troubles your heart, dear Emma?" With a gentle hand, Mary brushed her fingers across her daughter's forehead. In a hushed tone, Emma revealed, "I caught a glimpse of Daddy and Grandma sharing a secret over the phone. In the shadows, they believed themselves hidden, unaware that my gaze pierced through the veil of their concealment." In that fleeting moment, Mary found herself taken aback by her daughter's words. Yet a warm recollection washed over her. The boundless depths of a child's imagination, vibrant and full of wonder. In the bustling realm of his daily life, Daddy often finds himself immersed in a flurry of work calls, each one a thread in the intricate tapestry of his responsibilities. And so the hour of rest has arrived. Once the gentle hush of the night enveloped the house and Emma was tucked in, Mary made her way to her office, determined to weave the final threads of planning documents for the Art Foundation. Yet, her mind wandered, elusive and unfocused. As she gazed into the enveloping darkness, a wave of unshakable anxiety washed over her, leaving her heart racing and her mind swirling with unspoken fears. As dawn broke, Richard set forth on his journey, departing earlier than he ever had before. As Mary busied herself with the careful arrangement of museum materials, her gaze drifted to Emma, who stood by the window, lost in thought, gazing out into the world beyond. In that moment, a palpable tension coursed through her petite frame as she remained motionless by the windowsill, a stark contrast to the lively spirit of a typical 6-year-old. "Emma, what captures your gaze so intently?" Mary made her way toward her daughter, a gentle determination guiding her steps. With a deliberate turn, Emma fixed her gaze upon her mother's face, a canvas of emotions waiting to be read. In her gaze there lingered a profound worry, one that seemed far too heavy for a child to bear. In the stillness of the moment, I find myself in anticipation, longing for something to arrive on the horizon. What lies ahead? With a warm smile, Mary inquired. In the depths of uncertainty, a question lingers, echoing softly in the mind. I don't know. But dear mother. Emma took a brief pause, allowing the world around her to settle in the silence. Ah, do you recall the tales spun in Grandpa's old basement? Mary came to a halt, her feet rooted to the ground as if the very earth had whispered a secret only she could hear. In the shadows of the old house, a mystery lingered. The basement, once belonging to Emma's great-grandfather, now sealed away from the world, awaited the curious and the brave. In the quiet corners of her mind, she found herself puzzled, for she could not recall ever speaking of its existence to her daughter. Oh, Emma, pray tell, from whence did you gather such intriguing news? In the realm of slumber it appeared before me. In the depths of the basement lies a hidden chamber, a sanctuary where one can seek refuge when darkness approaches, when ill-intentioned souls draw near. Mary gazed upon her daughter, marveling at the vibrant tapestry of imagination that danced within her mind. Yet, a shadow of unease flickered in her heart, whispering of the unknown paths that such creativity might lead them down. In the dusty corners of the house's survey report, there lay a curious mention of an old servant's basement. Yet, whispers suggested that this hidden space was entirely sealed off, shrouded in mystery and forever out of reach. Indeed, there were grand old houses that held such enchanting spaces. Yet, they have fallen out of favor, Mary shared with a soft smile. Is that so? In a quiet corner of the world, Emma's voice emerged, delicate and soft, like a whisper carried by the wind. As the aromas of dinner danced through the kitchen, the sudden ring of the phone pierced the air, beckoning for attention. As the name flickered to life on the screen before her, Mary found herself pausing, caught in a moment of uncertainty. It came from the hands of her mother-in-law, Helen. Hello, Helen, Mary exclaimed, her voice shining with brightness. Mary, has Richard taken his leave yet? In Helen's voice, an unusual tension lingered, weaving a tale of unspoken thoughts and hidden emotions. Indeed, he departed at the break of dawn today. He ought to have made his entrance by this time. I understand. Once the hush had settled like a gentle fog, Helen resumed her tale. Do share with me if you receive any word from him. There is a significant topic that beckons our attention. Indeed, it is so. Is there a tale of trouble brewing? Alas, there was not to be found. Once upon a time, a curious soul paused for a moment, seeking to ensure all was well. In an instant, a chill swept through the air as Helen's voice turned icy. And how fares our dear Emma? She is well indeed. In a hushed moment, there lingered a sense of anticipation, yet. Ah, I understand now. In the quiet corners of their imaginative worlds, children possess a wisdom that often eludes the grasp of adults. They see and comprehend far more than we might ever realize. In the depths of Helen's words, a profound significance lingered, whispering secrets of wisdom and insight. I shall reach out to you again soon. As soon as the call ended, Mary was met with the distant rumble of a car engine echoing around the house. As she gazed through the window, her eyes fell upon a stranger, a man whose presence was foreign, meandering slowly around the perimeter of her home. In the dim light of the evening, a figure cloaked in a black coat wandered through the shadows, his eyes scanning the surroundings as if on a quest for something elusive. Once upon a time, there was a young woman named Emma. With a sense of urgency, Mary dashed into the living room, her heart racing as she crossed the threshold. Today, let us find solace within the walls of our haven, where the world outside can wait a little longer. Come, let us linger in this place and create wondrous images with our hands. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to twinkle in the velvet sky, Mary found herself in a gentle struggle with little Emma, who, with a determined spirit, resisted the call of slumber. In the quiet of the night, I find myself yearning for the comfort of your room, a sanctuary that feels just right, rather than this place where I currently lay. What troubles your heart? Did you find yourself wandering through a night filled with shadows and whispers, where the line between reality and the unknown blurred? A dream that sent shivers down your spine, perhaps? With a gentle shake of her head, Emma dismissed the notion that lingered in the air. In the quiet corners of the house, whispers floated between Daddy and Grandma, hinting at a scheme that felt shrouded in shadows. What could they be plotting, one wondered, as the air thickened with secrets and unspoken intentions. In a moment of quiet, I caught the whispers of their conversation drifting through the air. Mary felt a deep unease settle within her as her daughter's words echoed in her mind. Ah, dear Emma, that simply cannot be the case. Ah, my friend, that is merely your. Indeed, it is a truth that stands unwavering. Emma's voice began to rise, echoing with a hint of urgency. In the quiet corners of Daddy's study, I stumbled upon a treasure trove of houseplans, each one whispering stories of dreams yet to be built. Whispers spoke of a hidden passage, cloaked in mystery and waiting to be discovered. As Daddy perused the plans, a satisfied smile crept across his face, and he spoke into the phone, perfect. In a quiet room, Mary found herself striving to soothe her daughter, yet the weight of Emma's solemn gaze filled her heart with unease. Once upon a time, in a moment of quiet resolve, the words "all right" were spoken, signaling the beginning of a new chapter. As the night falls, we shall find solace in each other's company within the warmth of my room. Yet, as the sun rises on the morrow, we must gather our thoughts and engage in a meaningful conversation about this matter. Once the gentle hush of night enveloped the house and Emma lay peacefully asleep, Mary picked up the phone and dialed Richard's number. Yet, the call continued to echo through the silence, unanswered and persistent. As the shadows of her anxiety deepened, she reached out to Richard with a message, yet silence lingered in response. With a gentle touch, Mary lifted her mother's photo, her mind drifting into a sea of memories and reflections. Did her mother harbor any worries about Richard? Not long ago, while sifting through her mother's cherished belongings, she stumbled upon a diary that held a curious line, "Worried about R." The words seemed to whisper secrets of the past, inviting her to unravel the mystery that lay within. In the stillness of the night, as shadows danced softly around her, the sudden chime of Mary's smartphone pierced the silence. In the quiet of the evening, a message arrived from Richard, bearing news of his return, set for the early hours of the morrow. There is a matter of great significance that beckons our attention. As the night stretched on, Mary found herself wide awake, her mind swirling with the echoes of Emma's words, each one a haunting whisper in the stillness of the dark. Once upon a time, a mother observed her daughter, a girl blessed with a vibrant imagination that danced like the colors of a sunset. Yet, in recent days, a curious change had woven itself into the fabric of her behavior, leaving the mother pondering the mysteries that lay beneath. It seemed as though she held a secret, a glimmer of knowledge that danced in her eyes. As dawn broke, Mary rose from her slumber, her footsteps soft and gentle as she meandered through the quiet corners of the house. On most nights, the door to Richard's study stood firmly locked, a barrier to the world beyond. Yet this evening it lingered ajar, inviting curiosity and whispers of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Within the confines of the room, a desk stood adorned with meticulously organized documents, presenting an appearance that, at first glance, seemed entirely ordinary. Yet, as she reached for the drawers, a curious twist of fate revealed the bottom drawer, which was usually secured, now stood ajar, inviting her to explore its secrets. Within the confines of the room lay an envelope, its surface marked with the words, "Life Insurance Documents." With hands that quivered like leaves in a gentle breeze, Mary slowly unlatched it and peered inside, her heart racing as she examined the treasures within. In a moment that would shape her future, a high-value life insurance policy was newly contracted in her name, a promise of security and peace of mind woven into the fabric of her life. In the tale of fortunes and fates, there stood a man named Richard, the one who would receive the blessings bestowed upon him. It was a week after her mother had passed when the contract date arrived. Once upon a time, there existed a moment, a simple yet profound declaration. This is. In a soft whisper, Mary let her words drift into the air. A shiver danced along the nape of her neck, a whisper of something unseen lurking just beyond her awareness. In that moment, the weight of Emma's warnings enveloped the air, transforming them from mere words into a haunting reality. Just as she was preparing to step away from the study, the distant rumble of a car engine echoed from outside, breaking the stillness of the moment. With a sense of curiosity, Mary cautiously leaned in, her eyes searching through the narrow opening of the blinds. In the stillness of the evening, a black SUV rolled to a halt before the house, and from its depths emerged a stranger, a man whose presence was as mysterious as the twilight that surrounded him. He stood there, phone pressed to his ear, a look of anticipation crossing his face as if he were waiting for a whisper from the universe to guide him. With a swift step, Mary made her way back to her room, where she gently settled beside the slumbering Emma. Her heart raced like a wild stallion thundering in her chest. Mary stirred from her restless slumber, caught in the dance of fleeting dreams and waking moments. As dawn began to stretch its gentle fingers across the sky, the light filtering through the window remained soft and timid, while the clock, steadfast in its duty, marked the hour at 5:30. As she looked upon Emma's serene sleeping visage beside her, a wave of relief washed over her heart. Yet the tranquility was but a fleeting whisper in the winds of time. A delicate whisper danced through the air, drawing her gaze with an irresistible pull. With a soft thud, the car door closed, echoing through the stillness of the evening air right in front of the house. As dawn broke, a peculiar sound echoed through the stillness, cutting through the early morning silence with an unexpected intensity. Had Richard returned? What was that significant conversation he had alluded to? In the quiet of the night, as shadows danced around her, the life insurance documents she had stumbled upon began to weave themselves into her thoughts, each page a whisper of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Just as Mary was on the brink of rising, a tiny hand, belonging to Emma, clasped her arm with a gentle yet determined hold. As Mary turned around, she found Emma wide awake, her eyes fixed on her mother, filled with a haunting fear that spoke volumes without a single word. Once upon a time, there was a little voice that called out, "Mommy." Emma's voice quivered like a fragile leaf caught in a gentle breeze. "It is time for us to make our daring escape without delay." In that moment, a small voice emerged, filled with a sense of urgency that could not be ignored. Mary, her mind swirling with uncertainty, gazed intently at her daughter's face, searching for answers in the depths of her expression. "What is this curious thing that has caught your attention? What is the reason behind this?" Emma stood there, her body quaking as the shadows of her fears loomed large around her. Her petite frame was rigid with unease, and her eyes shimmered with unshed tears. "Hurry now, for the hour is upon us, and we must depart from this dwelling without delay." In a moment thick with uncertainty, Mary found herself enveloped in a haze of confusion. In that moment, it became evident that fear had taken hold of her daughter, casting a shadow over her innocent heart. Yet, what shadows loomed behind them, urging their swift escape? Ah, Richard, ye say? A name that carries with it the weight of stories untold, a character waiting to step into the light of adventure. Or the enigmatic figure she glimpsed under the moonlight just the night before. In the depths of her heart, Emma felt a fear that was all too tangible. In the depths of her heart, Mary sensed an undeniable truth: her daughter was worthy of her trust. And so it was that Mary made her choice. "Hurry now, dear friend, and don your attire with haste, for only the essentials shall accompany you on this journey." With a sense of urgency, she reached into the depths of the closet and retrieved a small bag. Carefully, she filled it with cash, passports, a mobile phone, and the cherished locket that belonged to her mother, each item a piece of her story, ready for the journey ahead. With a flurry of excitement, Emma slipped into her clothes, her heart racing as she wrapped her arms around her beloved stuffed animal, finding comfort in its familiar embrace. "Mommy, hurry!" Emma implored, her eyes darting toward the window with a sense of urgency. Soft footsteps echoed gently at the threshold, a sound that stirred the stillness of the moment. In the stillness of the moment, a key began to turn, its metallic whisper echoing through the air. And then the sound of many footsteps echoed through the air. As the moments unfolded, a wild rhythm echoed in Mary's chest. "Emma," Mary began, her voice steady yet laced with an undercurrent of tension, "it appears that Daddy has returned. Must we truly take our leave? Perhaps it would be wise to have a conversation with Daddy regarding this matter, don't you think?" With a fervent shake of her head, Emma dismissed the notion entirely. Indeed, the answer is no. In a tale woven with tension, a dark plot unfolds as Daddy and Grandma conspire against Mommy, their intentions shrouded in mystery. In the shadows of family ties, a longing stirs for the treasure that Grandma once held dear. With a sharp intake of breath, Mary felt the weight of her daughter's words settle in the air around them. "Emma, what could have prompted you to utter such words?" In the stillness of the moment, I caught the sound, a whisper carried on the breeze. As Daddy spoke to Grandma on the phone, a weighty seriousness settled upon Emma's face, as if she were pondering the depths of a great mystery. Once upon a time, in a world where wishes and whispers danced in the air, a wise father spoke a curious truth: if Mary departs, then all that was hers shall find its way to you. And so the plan unfolds, where we must weave the tale in such a way that it appears merely as a twist of fate. As the night faded into memory, the life insurance documents she had glimpsed danced back into Mary's thoughts, weaving a tapestry of concern and contemplation. Once upon a time, there was a promise of a grand reward, a high insurance payout that shimmered like a treasure waiting to be discovered. In a tale woven with threads of fate, Richard emerged as the chosen beneficiary. It was a moment steeped in sorrow as the ink dried on the contract, just after the passing of her beloved mother. And above all, the look of fear that danced across Emma's face. Perhaps, just perhaps, these occurrences are woven together by a thread of fate, hinting at something deeper than mere chance. "I understand," Mary whispered, her voice quivering like a leaf caught in a gentle breeze. "Come, let us tread softly as we embark on our journey downward. We shall make our exit through the hidden passage at the rear." With a hushed reverence, the two figures started their descent down the winding staircase. Yet, the sound of Richard's voice echoed from the living room, weaving its way through the air. In a quiet corner, he found himself engaged in conversation with another soul. Mary paused on the staircase, her ears attuned to the whispers that danced through the air. Are all the preparations in place? There was a chill in Richard's voice, one that felt foreign and unsettling. In this moment of trust, I place my faith in you to oversee the workings of the security system. In the grand tapestry of life, the threads of timing weave a tale of their own, each moment holding the power to shape destinies. In the stillness of the moment, a voice belonging to another man broke through the silence. It is understood. As soon as the signal graces me with its presence, I shall set it into motion. Mary stood still, her heart pounding in her chest as fear gripped her like a vice. With a swift motion, she grasped Emma's hand, leading her through the bustling kitchen and toward the back door, where adventure awaited just beyond the threshold. With her possessions clutched tightly, she reached for the doorknob, a moment of anticipation hanging in the air. Yet it remained steadfast, refusing to budge. Alas, the door remained steadfastly closed, refusing to yield to my attempts to open it. In a moment of sheer panic, Mary whispered softly, her voice trembling like a fragile leaf caught in a sudden gust of wind. "Mommy," Emma's voice floated gently through the air. Alas, the door stands firmly shut, secured from the world beyond. In that very moment, a curious scent of gasoline started to weave its way through the air, enveloping the house in an unsettling embrace. Through the windows, a potent scent of chemicals crept in, weaving its way into the very fabric of the air. In that very moment, the house's security system sprang to life, its mechanisms whirring into action. In the stillness of the moment, without a single alarm to pierce the air, the heavy metal shutters began their descent, cloaking the windows and doors in a shroud of silence, all at once as if orchestrated by an unseen hand. It was unfolding before our very eyes. In a moment of despair, they found themselves ensnared, with no escape in sight. Once upon a time, there was a young woman named Emma. With a heart pounding and eyes wide, Mary let out a cry that echoed her deepest fears. In her frantic search, she scoured the shadows, yearning for a hidden path that might lead her to freedom. Yet, every window and door stood firmly shut, encased in heavy metal shutters that barred any glimpse of the world beyond. As the storm of anxiety threatened to engulf Mary, it was Emma's soothing voice that reached out like a lifeline, pulling her back from the edge. "Mommy, this way," Emma said, her voice steady and serene. "Behind the pantry, there lies a hidden door waiting to be discovered." With Emma as her guiding star, Mary ventured into the depths of the kitchen pantry. Hidden away behind the grocery shelves, there lay a small door, easily overlooked by the casual observer. With a heart full of determination, Emma grasped the edge of the shelf and, without a moment's doubt, revealed a concealed handle that awaited her touch. As the small door creaked open, it unveiled a shadowy passage that beckoned with mystery. Once upon a time, there was a name that echoed through the air, "Emma, this is." Mary stood there, her eyes wide with wonder as disbelief washed over her like a gentle tide. In the quiet corners of our home, a secret lingers, one that neither Daddy nor Grandma has yet uncovered. With a gleam in her eye, Emma declared, "I found it. Once upon a time, my dear grandmother shared a tale with me. Once upon a time in the realm of dreams." Mary paused, a flicker of uncertainty crossing her mind. A shadow of doubt flickered in her mind, whispering that this could be a cunning trap laid before her. Yet, within the walls of the house, a faint crackle began to whisper through the air, the unmistakable sound of fire dancing and consuming its surroundings. As the minutes passed, the scent of smoke began to weave its way through the air, growing stronger with each heartbeat. In a moment where fate had woven its intricate web, she found herself standing at a crossroads, with no path left untraveled. The weight of her circumstances pressed upon her, leaving her with but one option to embrace. And so it was that Emma, with a spark of determination in her eyes, stepped forward to take the lead. "I'll follow right behind you," Mary said, gently guiding her daughter into the passage, their footsteps echoing softly in the dim light. In the dim light, the narrow passage whispered of forgotten times, hinting at its history as an old secret servant's route, shrouded in mystery and intrigue. From the ceiling, dust and cobwebs draped like forgotten memories, whispering tales of a time long past when this place was alive with purpose. As they ventured forth, the passage before them was so slender that they found themselves bending low, almost as if bowing to the very walls that surrounded them in order to continue their journey. "Dear mother, are you feeling all right?" With a curious glint in her eye, Emma turned and inquired. She appeared untroubled, as if fear held no sway over her heart. Instead, her face bore an expression brimming with certainty, as though she were being led by an unseen force. "I'm fine," Mary attempted to smile, yet deep within her chest, her heart raced with a tempest of fear. In the depths of her thoughts, questions began to rise like whispers in the wind, each one beckoning for answers yet to be discovered. Did Richard truly harbor intentions of ending her life? Merely for the sake of the inheritance? In the quiet corners of her mind, a question lingered. How did Emma come to know of this hidden passage? As the journey unfolded, the path began to descend softly, leading into the mysterious embrace of the underground. Have you ever pondered the destination of this path? Mary inquired. Indeed. From beneath the old shed in the garden it emerges, a quiet presence in the twilight. Once upon a time, my dear grandma shared a tale with me. The air thickened with the acrid scent of smoke, and from behind them, a thunderous roar erupted, echoing like an explosion in the distance. As the flames danced and flickered, they began to weave their way through the night, spreading with an urgency that sent shivers down the spine. With urgency in their hearts, the two made their way through the narrow passage, their bodies nearly scraping the ground as they crawled forward. At long last, a faint glimmer emerged at the far end of the corridor. In the dim light of the basement, there stood a small door nestled quietly within the wall as if it held secrets waiting to be uncovered. As Emma pressed against the door, it swung open, accompanied by the haunting creak of rusty hinges, echoing through the stillness. Beyond lay the hidden realm of a shed, nestled a short distance from the house, shrouded in mystery and whispers of the past. With urgency in her heart, Mary scooped up Emma and dashed up the stairs of the shed. As they swung open the shed door, a gentle breeze of fresh morning air welcomed them like an old friend. As I cast my gaze back, the house stood ablaze, consumed by fierce flames. As the sun dipped below the horizon, a thick plume of black smoke spiraled upward, painting the sky with shadows. The distant wail of sirens echoed through the streets, drawing nearer, a harbinger of urgency in the stillness of the evening. "Mommy, let us venture to Barbara's house," Emma proposed with a sparkle in her eyes. In a quaint neighborhood, where laughter echoed through the streets, there resided a young woman named Barbara. She was not just a neighbor, but a cherished companion of Mary, who lived just 2 houses down the lane, their friendship blossoming like the flowers in spring. With a gentle embrace, Mary wrapped her arms around Emma, holding her close as if to shield her from the world. "Oh, Emma, in that moment, you became my beacon of hope, the one who turned the tide and saved my very existence." Emma gazed up at the visage of her mother. In her eyes there resided a serene calmness, reminiscent of the wisdom of adulthood. In the gentle embrace of our lives, there she is, our beloved grandma, ever watchful, her spirit guiding us through each moment. She was aware of the scheme that Daddy had devised. Mary felt a shiver run through her as her daughter's words echoed in the air. In their presence, one could sense a profound assurance, a quality that felt as if it transcended the bounds of a child's wildest dreams. With urgency in their steps, the two made their way to Barbara's house. In the gentle embrace of dawn, Barbara found herself in the familiar ritual of crafting her morning coffee. As she turned the handle and swung the door wide, there before her appeared Mary and Emma, their faces and clothes marked by the dark smudges of soot. Their faces bore the marks of a fear that words could scarcely capture. "Oh, Mary, what transpired?" With a swift motion, Barbara beckoned them to enter her humble abode. "Barbara, call the police." Mary's voice quivered with fear, echoing the urgency of the moment. In a moment of chaos, Richard unleashed flames upon the dwelling, a desperate act that sought to bring an end to our lives. In a moment thick with uncertainty, Barbara found herself drawn to the phone, her heart racing despite the incredulity of the words that had just crossed her ears. Beyond the window, dark tendrils of smoke began to curl upwards, while the wailing of sirens drew ever closer, echoing through the air. As the sirens wailed in the distance, drawing nearer with each passing moment, the Wilson house stood in a fierce embrace of flames, its fate sealed long before the brave men and women in uniforms could arrive. While the brave firefighters fought valiantly against the raging flames, the officers gathered around to listen intently as Mary and Emma recounted their experiences. Mary, her mind swirling with uncertainty, stood firm in her belief that this was no mere accident. It was a calculated act of malice, an attempted murder cloaked in flames. "My dear lady, that is quite a grave accusation," remarked the seasoned detective, his voice heavy with the weight of experience. "Is there any proof to support your claim?" With hands that quivered like leaves in a gentle breeze, Mary reached into her pocket and retrieved her mobile phone. "In the quiet of the night, I stumbled upon a trove of life insurance documents nestled within my husband's study, capturing their essence through the lens of my camera. Not long ago, he embarked on a significant journey, securing a high-value policy in my name." As the detective gazed upon the photograph, a deep furrow formed on his brow, hinting at the weight of the mystery that lay before him. This by itself falls short. In a moment filled with quiet tension, my daughter Emma caught the whispers of a conversation between her father and another. It was then that Mary, sensing the weight of the moment, gently placed her hand on Emma's shoulder, offering a silent comfort amidst the unfolding scene. In a hushed tone, Emma's voice emerged, delicate and soft, as if she were sharing a secret meant only for the ears of those who truly listened. Once upon a time, Daddy found himself engaged in a conversation with Grandma over the phone, their voices weaving a tapestry of shared memories and laughter. He proclaimed, "If Mary departs, all that was hers shall belong to me." And so he spoke, his voice low and conspiratorial. The secret lies in crafting the illusion of an accident. With a gentle gaze, the detective turned his attention to Emma, a warmth in his eyes that spoke volumes. "Pray tell, in what time and place did you come upon this tale?" It was but 3 days past. In the quiet corridor just beyond Daddy's study, Emma spoke with clarity, her words flowing like a gentle stream, each detail falling into place with precision. In a quiet corner of the room, Daddy was lost in conversation on the phone, his words weaving through the air, completely unaware of my presence. In that moment, his gaze fell upon the ancient house plans, each line and curve whispering tales of the past. He proclaimed that the modification of the security system was now complete. As the sun began its descent in the sky, the atmosphere at the scene transformed in ways that were both unexpected and profound. With a solemn air, the fire investigator stepped forward to share the initial revelations of their inquiry. It is evident that flames were not merely a product of chance, but rather the result of a deliberate act of destruction. Whispers of gasoline lingered in the air, weaving through the shadows that danced around the house. In a twist of fate, the security system underwent a careful transformation, enabling the remote locking of windows and doors from the outside, as if orchestrated by an unseen hand. With urgency in their steps, the detectives set out on a quest to find Richard Wilson. It soon revealed itself like a shadow in the light, that the business trip he spoke of was nothing but a fabrication. His colleagues at work recounted the tale, for none among them had caught wind of Richard's impending business journey. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue across the sky, Richard found himself at a gas station along the bustling interstate highway. It was there, amidst the hum of engines and the flicker of neon lights, that fate took a turn, leading to his arrest. In a twist of fate, the trunk of his car revealed a trove of documents tied to identity fraud, alongside a substantial sum of cash, hinting at a story far darker than it first appeared. In the depths of my heart, I proclaim my innocence. In the dimly lit interrogation room, Richard's voice echoed, filled with urgency and intensity. It was all part of my mother's grand design. With a forceful hand, she bent my will to her desires. In a twist of fate, Helen Wilson found herself taken into custody right within the familiar walls of her own home. In the beginning, she held her head high, a picture of calm and grace. Yet, when the winds of accusation blew in Richard's direction, casting shadows upon her, her demeanor shifted like the turning of a page in a gripping tale. Ah, that son, who seems to have forgotten the warmth of gratitude. In the depths of my heart, I laid down all that I held dear for him. As the investigation unfolded, the chilling details of the sinister plot began to emerge, casting a shadow over all who dared to uncover the truth. In a twist of fate, Richard found himself ensnared in the clutches of dire financial woes. In the grand tapestry of his life, his role at the investment company was but a facade, a mere illusion crafted to impress. Behind the polished exterior lay a tale of struggle, for he had been ensnared in the clutches of debt for many long years. In the shadows of his life there was a mistress, a secret companion, and with the inheritance bestowed upon him by Mary's mother, he plotted a new beginning, a fresh chapter waiting to unfold. As the detective leaned closer, he revealed to Mary a tale woven with shadows and secrets, for it appeared he had been leading a double life for years. In the wake of your mother's passing, he turned his gaze toward her estate, a treasure now ripe for the taking. It appears that impatience took root within him, as the decision regarding the assets lingered in uncertainty. "I can't help but wonder if my mother caught a glimpse of it," Mary whispered softly, her voice laced with curiosity. In a twist of fate, the pages of Mary's mother's diary revealed a hidden truth, one that spoke of her keen awareness of Richard's true nature. Once upon a time, a man named Richard sought my counsel regarding an investment opportunity. However, as the tale unfolded, I discovered that his company was ensnared in financial turmoil, leading me to turn down his proposition. In a twist of fate, she had been striving to send a message to Mary, yet the cruel hand of illness snatched her away in an instant. 3 moons had passed when the trial finally commenced. In the grand theater of justice, the prosecution unveiled a tapestry of evidence, each thread woven with care and intent. In the shadows of Richard's mobile phone, a series of carefully orchestrated conversations between him and Helen came to light. These exchanges unveiled a chilling plot, one that sought to weave a tale of tragedy, making it seem as though Mary and Emma had met their untimely end in a tragic accident. In a courtroom filled with tension, the prosecutor stood before the jury, revealing the chilling tale of Richard Wilson. This man, driven by greed, had woven a dark plot to take the lives of his beloved wife and daughter, all in a desperate bid for their inheritance. In a dark twist of fate, he altered the very security of their home, weaving a chilling scheme that would ensnare his beloved wife and daughter, culminating in a blaze that would consume all they held dear. In a dramatic turn of events, the defense sought to delve into Richard's mental state, probing the depths of his psyche. Yet, in a flash, he shifted his approach, casting the weight of blame squarely upon Helen's shoulders. In the shadows of my childhood, there lay a figure whose influence was both subtle and profound, my mother, weaving her intricate web of persuasion around me. Her grip on me was unyielding, and escape felt like a distant dream. Yet, as fate would have it, this strategy took an unexpected turn for the worse. In a moment that caught everyone off guard, Helen unleashed her fury, recounting with unexpected honesty the years she had spent both nurturing and tightly managing her son, revealing the intricate part she played in this unfolding tale. With unwavering resolve, I set forth on a journey, ready to embrace any challenge that would bring joy to my son's heart. In the grand tapestry of their lives, it seemed that Mary, despite her many virtues, was not deemed worthy of his affections. In the quiet corners of my mind, a thought took root. If she were to vanish from the tapestry of our lives, perhaps Richard would finally grasp the success that destiny had long promised him. Yet, at the heart of the trial, the most crucial figure emerged, Emma, the witness whose words would weave the tale of truth and revelation. In a manner that belied her tender age, she recounted the tale of how she had stumbled upon a whispered exchange between her father and grandmother. It was a moment steeped in intrigue as she discovered the hidden houseplans and learned of a secret passageway revealed to her in a dream by her beloved grandma. "Pray tell, who is this grandmother of whom you speak? What do you have to say for yourself?" the prosecutor inquired. With a gentle smile, Emma replied, "Mommy's mommy." In a hushed voice, she confided in me that her father was scheming something dark and foreboding. A hush fell over the jurors as a subtle wave of feeling washed over them. In a moment that would forever be etched in the hearts of those who witnessed it, the unwavering faith and bravery of a 6-year-old girl became the beacon of hope that rescued 2 souls from the brink of despair. In the end, the fates of Richard and Helen were sealed as both were deemed guilty by the hands of justice. In a tale of dark intentions and fateful decisions, Richard found himself facing the weight of the law, sentenced to a daunting 15 years for his attempts at arson and the grave act of attempted murder. Meanwhile, Helen, entwined in the web of conspiracy, was handed an 8-year sentence, her fate sealed by the choices she made. Outside the grand courthouse, Mary embraced Emma with a fierce tenderness as if the world around them had faded away. Text: in a moment of peril, when hope seemed lost, it was you, Emma, who emerged as our savior. With wide eyes, Emma gazed up at her mother, seeking the warmth of her presence. "Oh, dear Mommy, it seems that it is just the 2 of us now, isn't it?" "No, we have each other," Mary smiled, her eyes sparkling with warmth. "It appears that dear Grandma is keeping a watchful eye on us from above." As they strolled away, their fingers intertwined, a sense of unity enveloped them. As the golden hues of autumn painted the world outside, Mary found herself gazing out the window of her new abode. It had been 6 months since the trial, and there in the garden, the fallen leaves twirled and swayed, as if performing a delicate dance just for her. In a quaint little town nestled within the Boston suburbs, there stood a house, modest in size compared to their grand former mansion. Yet, within its walls, a warmth radiated that made it feel like home. "Oh, dear mother, behold!" As the sun dipped low in the sky, casting a warm glow through the doorway, Emma returned from her day at school, her heart brimming with excitement. With a flourish, she unveiled a drawing, a treasure crafted from her imagination. Once upon a time, the teacher announced a delightful surprise. My picture would grace the walls of the art exhibition. In a quiet moment, Mary gently picked up her daughter's drawing, a treasure crafted by tiny hands and vivid imagination. In the scene, 3 women stood together, Mary, Emma, and the wise presence of Mary's mother. "Ah, how splendid, dear Emma! Ah, how delightful it would be to see Grandma's face light up with joy as she shares in the happiness of the moment." With a gentle curve of her lips, Emma smiled, a spark of warmth lighting up her eyes. "Oh, dear mother, how grateful I am that I urged you to flee on that fateful day." In that tender moment, Mary wrapped her arms around her daughter, holding her close as if to shield her from the world. From that fateful day onward, Emma embarked on a journey of remarkable resilience, guided by the wise counsel of Michael Foster, the psychological counselor who stood by her side. In the heart of her new school, she found companionship and warmth, and with each passing day, her artistic talents began to blossom like flowers in the spring. Mary, with a heart still tender from her trials, had returned to her duties at the Oliver Museum, navigating the delicate balance of her healing spirit and her passion for her work. In her heart, she nurtured a vision, a dream that blossomed with each passing day. With the legacy left by her mother, she set forth on a noble quest to create a foundation, a sanctuary for young female artists, where their talents could flourish and their voices could be heard. "Have you chosen a name for the new foundation yet?" With a curious glint in her eye, Emma inquired. "In the quiet corners of my mind, a name begins to take shape, Reverse Dream. A title that dances with intrigue and whispers of tales yet to unfold." With a smile that sparkled like the dawn, Mary spoke. "It signifies the first step toward a new dream." In the shadows of the prison walls, Richard found his days stretching endlessly, each one darker than the last. He found himself in a relentless pursuit, seeking a chance for his sentence to be lessened. Time and again, he insisted that the charges against him were nothing more than a fabrication born from his wife's delusions and his daughter's vivid imagination. Yet, the weight of the evidence laid forth by the prosecution was nothing short of formidable. His colleagues at the company gathered to share tales of his years spent weaving webs of dishonesty and deceit. In a twist of fate, the bond that once flourished between Richard and his mother, Helen, crumbled into dust. In the midst of the trial, Richard's words cast a shadow over the bond he once shared with his mother, forging a chasm that seemed impossible to bridge. In the dim confines of her cell, Helen found herself enveloped in solitude, earning the sorrowful title of the most pitiful prisoner. Her story, marked by despair, echoed through the cold stone walls, a haunting reminder of her plight. She whispered to her fellow inmates, "It was all for my son." Once upon a time, in a quiet corner of the world, Mary found herself immersed in a poignant task. She was carefully sorting through her mother's cherished belongings for what would be the final time. In the midst of dusty old notebooks, she stumbled upon an envelope, its presence a whisper from the past. Within the envelope lay a letter, penned by her mother's own hand. It spoke of a moment when Richard had come forth, seeking her counsel on an investment, yet she had chosen to turn him down. "It came to my attention that his company was facing a storm of financial difficulties. It was a time, just 2 weeks prior to the moment that would forever change her life, the moment of her mother's passing. In a moment of courage, Mary took a deep breath and penned a letter, which she then entrusted to the hands of the police. Thus, a new chapter unfolded, drawing the gaze of inquiry toward Richard, while whispers of doubt began to swirl around the circumstances of her mother's demise. It was believed that the end came from the gentle hand of nature itself. Mary endeavored to cast aside that lingering thought. On the enchanting night of Christmas Eve, Mary and Emma found themselves cozily nestled in front of the crackling fireplace, the warmth wrapping around them like a cherished blanket. On a gentle evening, Emma found herself in the delightful company of her psychological counselor, Michael, along with another dear friend. Together they wove a tapestry of warmth and connection, sharing stories and laughter under the soft glow of twilight. In the unfolding tapestry of time, Michael had, over the span of 6 months, woven himself into the very fabric of Mary and Emma's lives. Once our paths crossed in the realm of professionalism, where respect and duty guided our interactions. As time wove its intricate tapestry, we became friends, sharing laughter and stories that bridged the gap between mere acquaintances. Now in this beautiful journey of life, we find ourselves bound together, not just by choice, but by the warmth of familial ties that feel as natural as breathing. "Mommy," Emma suddenly inquired, her eyes wide with curiosity. "What then is the essence of a true family?" Mary paused, her eyes reflecting a deep understanding, and spoke softly, "It's not merely about blood ties, it's about the love we share and the commitment to safeguard one another." With a knowing nod, Emma spoke. "That is the reason we could truly become a family." After pondering for a moment longer, she pressed on. "Weren't Grandma and Daddy part of our family?" In a quiet moment, Mary shared her thoughts. revealing that their love, though deep, was not the kind that nurtured the soul. True love is a gentle whisper in the heart, a longing for the beloved's freedom and joy, like a soft breeze that carries the scent of blooming flowers, urging them to soar and find their own path to happiness. It is not a tale of exploiting another for personal gain. With a gentle gaze, Emma turned her eyes toward Michael, a warm smile gracing her lips. And what of Michael, you ask? Could it be that Michael finds a place among us, woven into the fabric of our family? As the two adults locked eyes, a warm blush crept across Mary's cheeks, painting them a delicate shade of crimson. With a warm smile, Michael replied, "Ah, that's a tale for another day, one we shall all share in time." As the world outside the window transformed, delicate snowflakes began their gentle descent, blanketing the earth in a soft white embrace. In the quiet corners of this small house, a palpable sense of anticipation hung in the air, whispering of a new year and the promise of fresh beginnings. With a gentle embrace, Mary wrapped her arms around Emma, holding her close as if to shield her from the world. "It was your bravery that forged the path to our new existence." With these words, they embarked on a journey toward a radiant future, filled with promise and hope.